Sponsored by Courts Bringing Value Home. U.S. willing to share information with government ambassador. Audit report established government has reasonable grounds to challenge Exxon's $214.4 million cost claims. 4 years after Bartica mother and the children perished in fire, grieving family finally received remains. And Ethnic Relations Commission and United Nations collaborate to counter hate speech. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Aletha Grant with the Tuesday, 18th June 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for joining us this evening. You will hear from Travis Chase now that the United States stands ready to share high-level information with the government of Guyana on officials who are involved in public corruption. That list could be very long.
As the People's Progressive Party civic government seeks to find out from the United States who else within its ranks are engaged in public corruption, considering recent sanctions against 3 Guyanese and their businesses, United States Ambassador Nicole Theriot told media operatives that she has urged her Washington counterparts to share such information with the government.
I strongly recommended to our partners back at in Washington that they provide as much of that information as possible, because I understand that the government here wants to do their own investigation.
Vice President Bartica told a press conference last Thursday that the Finance Minister and the Commissioner General of the Guyana Revenue Authority have written to the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control and the Internal Revenue Service seeking more information following the sanctions.
I was very clear in my request that we want to be able to share as much as humanly possible, because we want to be very transparent. The government of Guyana has been very transparent with us, and we want to do the same in return.
The U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control accused Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed of allegedly evading $50 million in duty taxes to the Guyana government by allegedly omitting more than 10,000 kilograms of gold from import and export declarations between 2019 and 2023. The U.S. also accused May Thomas of using her position as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs to offer benefits to Mohammed's enterprise and Azruddin, among others, in exchange for cash payments and high-value gifts.
We have a wonderful partnership with the government of Guyana, and we want them to be able to take that information and do with it what they need to do.
The government has already sent May Thomas on leave, and she has resigned from her position on the Central Executive Committee of the PPPC, while at the same time, the foreign exchange license of the Mohammeds has been cancelled. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Travis. The Guyana government says the audit report from UK firm IHS Markit has established reasonable grounds to challenge ExxonMobil's $214.4 million cost claims. Antonio Day explains.
UK firm IHS Markit had engaged the government to conduct an independent audit and cost recovery claim submission by SO Exploration and Production Limited, also known as EEPGL, for the period 1999 and 2017 within the Stablo block. According to the cost recovery report, this amounted to $1,677,774,727 in accordance with the remodeled 2016 production sharing agreement. The audit established that the state has reasonable grounds to dispute the $214.4 million plus overhead adjustments of the costs included by EEPGL in the cost bank. This amounts represent 12.8% of the cumulative cost recovery balance at the fourth quarter of 2017. It was noted that a lump sum of $460 million had been included within the 2016 production sharing agreement and is referenced as pre-contract costs in the report. During the audit period of 1999 to 2017, the report cited that there was no production within the Sabo block. Therefore, considerations for production, valuation, cost all entitlements, and resulting cost bank reductions were not required, and this was flagged by IHS Markit. Such consideration will form a crucial part of cost recovery audits in the future. The 2016 production sharing agreement did not contain production area or field level ring fencing provisions. Therefore, cost recovery has been treated as applying to the entire block, the audit firm noted. IHS Markit cited that its audit team checked and made sure that no costs related to other EEPGL-operated exploration blocks in Guyana were added to the Sabo block cost bank. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A seasoned Guyanese internal medicine specialist based in the USA has written a book titled The COVID-19 Pandemic, Journey Through the Eyes of a Primary Care Physician. Carice Gonzalez was there and filed this report.
Dr. Dennis Odie launched a new book titled The COVID-19 Pandemic, Journey Through the Eyes of a Primary Care Physician, aimed at deepening our understanding of the profound impacts of the coronavirus. The launch was done on Friday at the College of Behavioral Sciences and Research at the University of Guyana, Turkana campus. Dean of the College of Medical Sciences, Dr. Cecile Boston, during his featured address, recounted that the book vividly captured the challenges, triumphs, and meaningfully human connections forged during the peak of COVID-19.
It provides invaluable insights into the daily realities of medical practitioners, oftentimes operating or navigating through unprecedented time, from treatment strategies to navigating public skepticism around vaccines.
Dr. Dennis Odie, an internal medicine specialist based in Maryland, USA, brings over 25 years of experience in the medical field. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology from Morgan State University in 1989, and later his medical degree from Wright State University in 1996. Reflecting on his book, Dr. Odie emphasized on its documentation and the comprehensive insights it provides.
Take my cell phone and I started writing the day's activities in the office, and then of course the news was there, and I tried to put it together. And then in my office.
The COVID-19 pandemic, Journey Through the Eyes of a Primary Care Physician, not only covers the clinical management of COVID-19, but also delves into the emotional and ethical dimensions of care. The book paints a moving picture of healthcare professionals on the front line, where dedication and the sacrifices were made to safeguard public health amidst uncertainty and fear. Dr. Odie underscored that the book aims to serve as a lasting reminder of the pandemic's impact for future generations. Accessible in its simplicity, yet profound in its message.
I made it pretty simple for a non-physician or a physician to understand. And I think that's the way we should do stuff, especially this is such a very common virus, people need to know about it.
However, Dr. Paloma Mohamed Martin, Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, urged vigilance and preparedness in the face of a potential virus, reflecting on Guyana's experience in March 2020 when the pandemic struck, causing significant loss of lives.
Don't forget about those things. Don't do away with them. The worst case scenario is if nothing happens, which we hope it won't, you still have your vitamin C, you still could feed yourself, you still are being healthy and protected. But if something happens, you're ready and not as unprepared as the world was.
I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after this break for more news. Stay tuned.
SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. Powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch, so tasty. What a catch, with a caramel center. What a catch, and so much chocolate, ooh yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, with so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel, ooh yeah. Oh, what a catch, you know we love you. What a catch, oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, what a catch.
Welcome back with the HGP Nightly News. After 4 long, agonizing years, the family of a woman and her 2 children who were burned to death by her partner is finally having closure, having received their remains on Tuesday. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
On December 12, 2020, 48-year-old Carolyn Ann Kennedy, a housewife, and her 2 daughters, Mariana Downer, 5, and Gabriella Kennedy, 3, all of 4 Mile squatting area, Bartica, Potara Road, perished in a fire which was set by Kennedy's partner. The late woman's brother, Ian Kennedy, spoke with Nightly News on Tuesday at the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Crematorium. There, he saw his sister and nieces cremated. He will now transport their ashes to Bartica, where they will be laid to rest on Thursday.
This is my sister and my 2 nieces, the remains taken back to Bartica.
Kennedy expressed gratitude to the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs for assisting financially in getting the remains.
Go to the Ministry of Affairs, and I'm glad for the help they give me and thing, and I've been here and I get through all well, and now I'm leaving to go back to Bartica.
Last week, in an exclusive interview with Nightly News, Ian vented his frustration over the slothfulness of the police at the Bartica police station. The bereaved brother claimed that when he called the Bartica police station last year, the authorities advised him to travel to Georgetown to pick up his sister's remains from the parlor.
When I go, the same thing they're telling me. You gotta get the DNA, the police report, and what's not. When they go back to Bartica now, they tell you, go to town. When I come to town, they tell me go back to Bartica. So they got me up and down.
It was only last Thursday when he visited the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Crematorium. He was given an estimate of $340,000 to receive the remains. According to reports on December 12, 2020, at around 21:30, police received a call about a fire at 4 Miles Housing Scheme squatting area, Bartica. And on arrival, the wooden structure was seen on fire and was completely engulfed in flames. When the fire was extinguished, what appeared to be the charred remains of 3 human beings were found in the corner of the house. Police then searched the area, and the suspect was found in close proximity of the house with injuries about his body. He was then escorted to the Bartica hospital and later charged with 3 counts of murder. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
In observance of International Day of Countering Hate Speech, the Ethnic Relations Commission has partnered with the United Nations to launch a campaign to combat hate speech. Carice Gonzalez has the details.
The Ethnic Relations Commission on Tuesday, in partnership with the United Nations Guyana, launched a Countering Hate Speech campaign at the National Library in Georgetown. The launch coincides with the UN International Day for Countering Hate Speech, which is being observed every year on June 18. In her address, Chief Executive Officer Gomin Kamash noted that despite Guyana's overall peaceful environment, sustained efforts are essential to maintain the status quo.
Globally, hate speech takes many forms, whether it be commenting negatively on someone's appearance, making distasteful comments based on a person's race, religion, nationality, disability, political association, or sexual orientation.
Additionally, United Nations Coordinator to Guyana, Yashim Uruk, pointed to the persistent presence of hate speech in society, exacerbated by increased internet access and the influence of social media among youth. This has posed additional challenges, prompting the UN Secretary General to initiate a strategy and action plan against hate speech.
Hate speech is a marker. It's a marker of discrimination, abuse, violence, conflict, and even could be a marker of impending crimes against humanity.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira, emphasized that hate speech not only undermines equality, but also poses a significant risk in inciting violence.
And so we give our mouths liberty to say things that really are inappropriate and should not be said. I do believe that the family is the place where values and principles are taught to children.
I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
As a new report from the International Energy Agency forecasts a future decline in oil prices, Vice President Bartica says Guyana has secured investments made in oil and gas due to revenues generated from daily production that will likely cushion the effects. More from Antonio Day.
The International Energy Agency, also known as the IEA June report, predicts that oil prices will likely decline. However, the question that lingers is what potentially impacts will it have on Guyana's oil and gas sector. The International Energy Agency cited that, and I quote, world oil demand growth continues to soar, with 2024 gains now seen at 960,000 barrels per day, and 100,000 barrels per day below last month's forecast. End of quote. Against this background, Vice President Bartica last Thursday at a press conference told journalists that the government has already put mechanisms in place to capitalize on profits from the revenues incurred as a result of oil production. He reasoned that if there is a significant decline in oil prices, the country will be in a good position to cushion the effects.
CNBC today said that oil prices could drop to $60 per barrel next year because they anticipate that you have overproduction, large inventories, etc. What you have to do is to make sure that even before the fall off in demand, which is coming and as predicted by the IEA, that you secure your investments early.
The revised 2016 production sharing agreement allows ExxonMobil Ghana Limited, EMGL, to deduct 75% of the monthly revenues for expenses incurred, while the remaining 25% is shared between Guyana and the oil conglomerate as profits. According to Jagdio, Guyana is way ahead of its game as it was able to secure its investments from the petroleum sector as a result of constant production, though oil prices are currently high.
We have now locked in 6 FPSOs that will take us to 1.3 billion barrels. This would be about a 50-something billion US dollars of investments over the period. Very, very few countries in the world have been able to secure that investment.
The government's functionary highlighted that due to the rate of cost recovery by ExxonMobil, the state's revenue shares will increase significantly.
That we anticipate that in the next few years, our revenue will grow from about $2 billion per annum now, if oil prices remain the same, to about $8 to $10 billion per year. So that you're not getting a little bit more, you're getting much more in the outer years.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. Join us after this break. We have more news for you. Stay tuned.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Number 1 world famous astrologer and psychic, Astro Pandit Ishwar. Astrology prediction is God's gift, passed down from generation to generation. He is specialized in the removal of black magic, negative energy, bad luck, voodoo, evil spirits, your worries, and here, special guidance for broken relationships, husband and wife disputes. Expert in bringing back loved ones,
business problems, sexual problems, children's problems, family problems, health problems, domestic problems, and many more. 100% warranted result. All matters private and confidential. Call or WhatsApp now for book on appointment. And all religions are welcome.
Attention homeowners and contractors. You must see the wide variety of toilet sets of Gaffurs before you build. They have 2 types of toilet designs. S-trap, which goes down into the floor, and P-trap, which goes out through the wall. Both designs come in dual flush and lever flush. The dual flush helps conserve on water usage, and both are fitted as normally done. Spare parts are readily available for all the toilets sold at Gaffurs. So get quality sanitary ware products at affordable prices for home or office from Gaffurs Macdoom Mega Complex and outlets at Bartica, Means, Land of Canaan, BV, Rose Hall, Kanji, and Diamond. For superior customer service, superior quality, and competitive prices, it's Gaffurs, the name you can trust.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. After securing 50 nominations for leader of the Alliance for Change, General Secretary Cheryl Duncan said once elected, he will galvanize greater support for his party. Duncan sat down with Antonio Day late last week.
Sure, Duncan, who is currently the General Secretary of the Alliance for Change, came up against former Chairman Nigel Hughes and former General Secretary David Patterson, who both secured both nominations. The Member of Parliament, during an interview with Nightly News, recently said that once elected, he will work towards recruiting more members in the AFC who are versed in human services and social security, public security, natural resources, among other sectors.
We have to be able to consolidate our party base as well as add new members, bring new persons on board. I'm very much looking forward to touching base with more technical people, getting more sound economic advice, security advice. That's a big thing now when you see what's happening in our country.
Duncan remarked that even though Guyana is deemed the fastest growing economy with an outstanding gross domestic product, also known as GDP, many citizens continue to suffer. Contextually, once the AFC concludes its internal elections, the party will fixate on campaigning for the upcoming 2025 general and regional elections, Duncan said. He reasoned that Guyana needs a government that is transparent and accountable, as he believes that the needs of public servants are not catered for under the current regime.
We're entering into an electoral process as well nationally as soon as we get out of this internal electoral cycle. So we have to be able to focus on that and craft a plan, bringing together the best team to win power in a democratic way.
Back in December 2022, the Alliance for Change formally ended its political coalition with the Partnership for National Unity, following the end of its agreement in the Commonsburg Accord. Both parties, however, are working in unison at the parliamentary level. When asked if the AFC would ever rejoin forces with the Partnership for National Unity to contest the 2025 general and regional elections, Duncan had this to say.
We've been working with our councillors. We've created a forum, our councillors caucus, where our councillors meet and we can have a cross-fertilization of ideas. They can tell us what's happening in the various councils across this country. That wasn't a feature that was catered for in the last Commonsburg Accord. If we venture there for a second time, that has to be a component. How do we deal with the local government system? How do we deal with the regional democratic system?
The future AFC leader has made it clear that he does not oppose the idea of rekindling forces with APNU, but both political parties have to go back to the drawing board and address several issues in the previous Commonsburg Accord, as he believes in the notion that where there is unity, there is strength. The AFC said that the key executive positions will be complemented by 12 elected members of the National Executive Committee, also known as the NEC. There are more than 60 members vying for the NEC. The elections for these key posts will take place during the Alliance for Change's National Congress on Saturday, June 29th, 2024. Antonio Day reporting for HGP Nightly News.
The Ministry of Health on Tuesday launched its eye testing and spectacle program with the distribution of vouchers. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The National Eye Screening Program was on Tuesday launched at Orchard Conference Center. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, in delivering the feature address, said in this year's budget, the President ensured that the Ministry of Health had sufficient funding so that it could execute a national program.
For every child below the ages of 18, that we are able to screen that child to see whether they have any problems with their eyes. And any person 65 years and older, to make sure that we screen them to see if they have any difficulty with seeing, and it can be corrected by using spectacles.
The minister explained that although the ministry has the capacity, it is unable to screen a high number of patients at any given time. And it is for this reason they have partnered with the private healthcare providers to assist with the workload.
2 vouchers, one for $2,000. So we'll be distributing these widely to persons under the ages of 18 and those who are 65 and older. And we'll be using various mechanisms. Some of it would be in the regions, some of it would be through various ministries and organizations that we'll be partnering with, so that we can have as wide a distribution as possible.
Anthony added that the ministry is running a second program where if a person is diagnosed with cataract, the ministry places them on a waiting list ahead of the operation.
So far over the last 2 to 3 years, we have been doing cataract surgeries.
The health minister added that his ministry is doing a comprehensive eye care program, starting with screening for prevention.
This is not just a Georgetown program, it's for the whole country. So we're making sure that we provide the vouchers to people, but we also want to make sure that the providers are there to do the tests and to receive those vouchers.
Just recently, the Ministry of Health signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with various healthcare providers to offer vouchers for eye exams and cervical cancer screenings to targeted members of the population. Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
So to tell you about my mom and how I lost her, it was a very hard reality for me.
I met Crystal through a friend who asked me to speak to her. The first time I saw her, my spirit just took a liking to her. I see Crystal as my daughter. I haven't given birth to Crystal, but I feel as if I do.
I felt alone. I got the support I needed from her.
I understand that Crystal was a lesbian. I choose to accept and embrace and love everybody. I'm a Christian and I believe we're all God's children. God loves everyone. At the time, we all get educated enough to know that, you know what? Everybody is just the same human.
She never questioned it. She just supported me right through it.
So I see her as a young woman full of potential. Crystal and every gay and lesbian person should be treated with respect in Guyana.
All the big bands, all the big names from all around the world. The return of the biggest chutney show, Clash of the Titans, June 22nd, the Guyana National Stadium, the ICC Cricket T20 World Cup weekend. This is Clash of the Titans. One big stage, one big night, over 7 big bands, over 40 artists performing June 22nd, the Guyana National Stadium. This is Clash of the Titans.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Dive deep into the pulsating core of our spirited nation as we unravel the captivating stories embedded in our arts, music, sports, and beyond. A journey to nurture your soul and celebrate our rich heritage. Join us on HGP TV, where Inside Culture brings you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana, airing Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and rebroadcasting on Sundays.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Brazil. Brazilian President Luiz Lula da Silva criticized the country's central bank, saying its chief, Roberto, works to harm Latin America's largest economy. In an interview with local radio station CBN, Lula argued that the central bank's behavior is the only thing out of place in Brazil at the moment. Lula, who is set to choose the next chief of the central bank later this year, said he plans to appoint someone who does not give into market pressure and who will conduct a monetary policy considering that Brazil needs to control inflation, but also have a commitment to growth. We now bring you news from Venezuela. Venezuela's National Assembly on Monday began discussing a proposal to extend through 2047 a contract between state oil company PDVSA and U.S. company Chevron to operate a joint venture in the country's largest producing area. PDVSA and Chevron have 4 joint ventures in Venezuela that are producing some 200,000 barrels per day of crude. The companies are requesting an extension for Petropire, the partnership that produces the most oil. Venezuela's Deputy Oil Minister said during a presentation at the National Assembly in Caracas. We continue with news from Venezuela. Venezuela's opposition coalition said that 4 activists from 2 of its political parties have been detained in recent days, as tensions rise ahead of a July presidential contest. Gabriel Gonzalez, Javier Cisneros, Jean Carlos Rivas, and Juan Arate of the Venezuela parties were arrested between Friday and Monday by security forces, who have accused them of instigating hate and of conspiracy. The detentions of the 4 activists and a journalist, Luis Lopez, come amid favorable polling for Gonzalez, who was tapped as the opposition candidate for Venezuela top court upheld a ban on holding public office for its primary winner, Maria Corina Machado. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching. U.S. willing to share information with government, Ambassador. Audit report established government has reasonable grounds to challenge Exxon's $214.4 million cost claim. 4 years after Bartica mother and the children perished in fire, grieving family finally received remains. And Ethnic Relations Commission and United Nations collaborate to counter hate speech. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Aletha Grant. Thanks for watching.